Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz and Mildred. I'm executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, and Mildred is executive cat to the executive editor at ClassicsToday.com. And here we are with Volume 2. It finally showed up like a year later of the Vienna Philharmonic Deluxe Edition. Is that what it's called? Yes. Deluxe Edition, Volume 2. 20 CDs of stuff that we either already have or don't care about. I mean, that's the bottom line. It's all randomly assembled, rather foolishly, and I don't understand it. I don't know who'd want it. It's sort of a vanity production. It's nicely packaged in this hefty box where you get these jumbo. I can't even show them to you. These jumbo things with the CDs in either side of them. See that? There you go. Like that, and then you get like a big fat book which has basically the same junk in it that you had in the first big fat book, right? I mean, it's on Deutsche Grammophon, and I'm here with Mildred because, let's face it, if you have a choice between talking about the Vienna Philharmonic Deluxe Edition Volume 2 and hanging out with Mildred, what would you choose? I mean, reasonably. Right, dear? Come here. You say hi to everyone? I know. I mean, this is just so much more rewarding than going through this stuff again. I do it out of professional obligation and as a courtesy to all of you. I mean, of course, there's some good stuff in here. It's the Vienna Philharmonic, right? But and this is sort of roughly chronological compared to the first one. Remember, the first one was just a grab bag of useless material. Well, this is a better organized grab bag of useless material. They've got, concertos on like the last 5 discs, and they have historical stuff kind of working their way up, and so it's a little bit better. So let's go through it. You've got Mozart, Sinfonia Concertante, let's see, Kochel 297B, which is, of course, the one that's like maybe not by Mozart at all. And then you've got the Haydn Sinfonia Concertante, his 105th Symphony, which is lovely. The performances are fine. And is anyone going to get excited about these things? Let me give you the answer. No, not at all. Then you've got Beethoven, the Ninth. Yes, with Erich Kleiber. How many times has that been reissued? And of course, that's not even a Deutsche Grammophon. That's a Decca. But these are now, as you can see, they're Deutsche Grammophon and Decca. So there you are. And Philips, which is now Decca, of course. Mendelssohn, Symphonies 1 and 3 with Tochnani. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Schumann's Spring Symphony and Franck D minor with Furtwängler. Well, the Schumann isn't bad. I mean, the sound is lousy, and the Franck is horrible, thick, heavy, turgid, disgusting, awful, terrible. Then we've got, let's see, Sinopoli doing Liszt, Les Preludes, Orpheus, Mazeppa, and the Hungarian Rhapsody No. 2. Those are good. Sinopoli was good at that stuff. He did really good, trashy music. He always got lovely sound, and he played it like it really mattered. Like it was philosophically deep, because he thought he was philosophically deep. And, delusional conductors do delusional music delusionally. Yeah. Then we've got, let's see, Bruckner 3 with Haitink. Well, it's a very good Bruckner 3. It is. I mean, it sounds fine. It's a little slower and less peppy than his first one with the Concertgebouw, but it's still very, very good. Brahms, German Requiem with Barbara Bonney, Andreas Schmidt, and various singists, and the Vienna Staatsoper concert for Reinigung Staatsopern Chor thing under Giulini. It's a snooze. That's it. All you need to know. Dvorak, Symphonies 8 and 9 with Karajan. Oh, the 8th. The 8th is fabulous. It's like one of my reference recordings. But the 9th, the New World. Well, yeah. I mean, I can live without that one. It would be nice if they had in this thing here, what the dates are, because Karajan did this repertoire so many times. So I'm going to just take out the book here and make sure we're dealing with the right ones, because the 8th that you want is the Decca one. And let's see. I mean, they were all good. Dvorak always did a great Dvorak 8th, of course. But let's just see if it tells us. Oh, it does. That's nice of them. Finally, some information. Okay, here's the 8th. Is from 1985. and the ninth is from 19. Okay, so these are the later DG digital ones, which are not as good. Well, the eighth anyway isn't as good as his first Decca one, also with Vienna, which was absolutely stunningly amazing, and that's still the better one and the one to get. So now I have to figure out how to put this away. Can you help me? No. Okay, fine. Let's see. Wait a minute. So we have this, and goodness gracious. There, we did it. Look at that. And of course, getting the CDs out is a whole nother job in and of itself from its little slot thing. You know what I use? I mean, I know some of you have seen my how to get CDs out of awkward packaging video. If you haven't watched it, here is my CD extraction kit. And we take out the CD extractors. I've got dozens of different ones here. All of them like vinyl tipped. I like this one. This one is very good. See that? That's very good. It doesn't scratch the vinyl tips. You know, they're great because they don't scratch the actual disc. But as some of you may already know, the one mechanism that you all must own if you're going to have operations like this is this. This is the fabulous, amazing, you can get this at any drugstore, fake eyelash applicator with it's vinyl tipped, it's totally smooth, and you can open up one of these suckers. There it is, like this, and you can just stick this thing, hang on around the CD. There it is, and pull it out, and it will not damage your CD. Look at that. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, I mean, if you're foolish enough to want to own this and spend the money that they're asking for it, you might as well be able to get the CDs out without doing them damage, right? So there's that little hint, a little handy tip from an earlier video. So put this away back in my CD extraction toolkit, which I always keep handy. But those eyelash things are great. They're cheap. They're fabulous. Wasn't that fascinating? Yeah, I know. You were really interested, weren't you, Mildred? Okay. So, where were we? Dvorak. Okay, Mahler, 4 with Abato and Frederica von Stade. I mean, it just hasn't held up. It wasn't very well recorded. It's okay. It's a little boring. The best thing about it is Flicka in the finale. She's phenomenal. Janáček, Glagolitic Mass with Zemlinsky Psalm 83. This is the Shai recording. What fascinates me about this is just how soft-edged and kind of flabby it is compared to what Macaris would have gotten with the Vienna Philharmonic. I mean, his Janáček performances were so sharp and so intense and so rhythmic. It was almost a different orchestra. Well, here it isn't a different orchestra. It's not horrible, but it's just a little snoozy and not terribly interesting. Then we've got the Seiji Ozawa Alpine Symphony with the Vienna Philharmonic fanfare. Also, nothing special. If you want to hear the Vienna Philharmonic do the Alpine Symphony, then you've got to get the Previn on Telarc, which is stunning. It's stunningly well recorded, and Previn was good with Richard Strauss. He really was. I mean, so that's worth having. Then we've got the Franz Schmidt Fourth Symphony with Zubin Mehta. Fantastic, iconic, amazing, one of the great records that they ever made and one of the great records that Mehta ever made. So that's really, really important. Then we've got, let's see, Kodai Peacock Variations, Boris Blacher's Paganini Variations, and the Elgar Enigma Variations with Schulte. It was one of Schulte's last recordings, and it's odd. It's good to have the Boris Blacher Paganini Variations on a major label recording because they're lots of fun. But everything else there is just odd. I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, it's mediocre. We've been using that word a lot lately. Shostakovich, Symphony 6 and 9 with Bernstein. His Sony ones with the New York Phil are about 10 times better. They're livelier. They're better played. They're better recorded. Everything about them is better. This sixth particularly has the cymbal player get lost at the very end, which is kind of embarrassing. I mean, the ninth is good. It always was. But these live recordings sometimes sound terribly dry, and this is one of those cases. You're really, really better off with the Sony recordings if you want Bernstein in these works. And you should, because he conducted them splendidly. Then we get a bunch of concerti. here are the concerti. You ready? Mozart Violin Concertos 1 and 2, in the Adagio and Rondos with Itzhak Perlman and James Levine. Then on the next disc, you have Mozart Concertos 3 through 5 with Kramer and Harnoncourt, which is more interesting for Harnoncourt than it is for Kramer. They should have just given you the Perlman cycle if you were going to do it. Frankly, I know they thought they were being cute, breaking it up and showing you the difference between what Harnoncourt got and what Levine got. And I get that. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It really isn't. But, you already have this cycle if you want them, right? These concertos. And okay, never mind. Beethoven, Piano Concerto number 2 with Christian Zimmermann, who's playing and conducting at that point, I think, because he was doing the cycle with Leonard Bernstein, and Bernstein passed away and all that stuff. And then you've got Piano Concerto number 3 with Wilhelm Backhaus and Schmidt-Isserstedt. That's a famous Beethoven Piano Concerto cycle that was issued with the Schmidt-Isserstedt Beethoven symphonies. So, okay, I get it. Chopin Piano Concertos 1 and 2 with Lang and Zubin Mehta. Who cares? Dvorak Cello Concerto, Silent Woods, with Heinrich Schiff and Previn. Fabulous. It's my reference recording for the Dvorak Cello Concerto, one of them. It's astoundingly wonderful. And then Rimsky-Korsakov Scheherazade with Rainer Kuchel violin and Strauss Paragon to the Sinfonia Domestica with Gary Grafman and Andre Previn. It's nice to have Gary Grafman doing that. The Scheherazade is absolutely a waste. Totally, completely uninteresting. The Strauss is not one of his strongest works. It's for piano left hand, but like I said, it's good to hear Gary Grafman, and Previn always does good Strauss, but there's not much to do in that work. And that's it. That's 20 discs at some exorbitant price that I'm not even going to get into. Of deluxe packaging, sort of, kind of, if you have the right extraction devices to take advantage of it. And it is, as you can see, a total, complete, random hodgepodge. So here it is, Random Vienna Hodgepodge, Volume 2. And now I can go back to giving attention to Mildred here, because she's much more important than that, undoubtedly. So keep on listening, friends, and go pet your cat if you have one, or stroke your goldfish, or, lick your lizard, whatever you want to do. It's more interesting than this stuff. Take care.